The global stocktake is something historical. It's happening for the first time since the Paris Agreement, and it's important to track whether we're on track or not, whether we're making the right progress or not. The messages from the global stocktake are clear. It's tripling the amount of renewables, it's doubling the energy efficiency, and it's phasing out of fossil fuels. Now that's easier said than done. I think we can go faster together if we combine the right people that bring the clean tech, the off-takers, the financiers, the regulators to provide the right framework so that business cases work, so that investment gets de-risked. And that, in many cases, can happen already. And it's happening already. We see it in hydrogen, we see it in carbon capture and storage, we see it in other clean tech areas where business actually creates a case for investment in these areas. And these kind of setups we need to replicate. We need to make sure that it's not only in a certain jurisdictional environment or in a certain regulatory environment, but the question is, how do we roll that out globally so that we increase the amount of hydrogen, clean hydrogen projects, for example. So I work in hydrogen and fuel cells. The challenge here is, how do you get to clean hydrogen and how do you make sure that production volumes can be ramped up? Now, if we look at what's happened in the last year and the year before, the announcements for production projects have gone up significantly. On the other hand, the offtake, the long-term demand for this clean hydrogen hasn't quite met what has been announced in terms of production. So the question is, how do we close this gap? And how do we make sure we de-risk the offtake in a way so that these long-term agreements can actually happen and that investment happens? Hydrogen production, green hydrogen projects have been announced across the globe. And the question is, as mentioned, how do we make sure that they become investable? And there are models around there to do that. So the question is, how do we work to get them, to make them happen? At the Sustainable Innovation Forum, business comes together and really talks investments, talks clean tech, talks technology, and it provides a space additional to the green zone and the blue zone at COP, where businesses and their partners can discuss investments in a quiet environment, in an environment that's productive in a way that's really set aside for these kind of discussions. And that's what we need. So the Sustainable Innovation Forum is a really important format to get the acceleration happening